found is we have to loop them back up because that is feeding the kitchen sink now. That is the mains coming up, so the mains coming up in that kitchen, we bedded them into the wall. So we have to connect that back up to that, connect the auto back up to that, otherwise nothing works. So we're going to cut that waste off, then we'll form that hole, and then I can get my arm in and get into that pipework, cut them there, and then we can reroute them underneath floor back to this point here, underneath the bath so you won't see no. So it'll be beautiful. Just got Tommy Lee in there, sawing that. He gets all the best jobs while he's trying to saw that. So the bath's out, the toilet's out, and then we're left with this pipework. So this pipework, there's a pressure reducing valve there. So I'm presuming that's the mains cold feed coming up somewhere. Comes then, goes down here, into that bedroom, then down into the floor, then it goes through this joist, and then I'm presuming it used to run down the kitchen wall. Now in the kitchen wall, the sink's over there. So I'm hoping that these pipes here are capped off in the wall somewhere or down there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these pipes here, I'm going to cut that, I'm going to put a cap on it, and I'm going to turn the mains water back on and see if that kitchen sink comes live. If the kitchen sink don't come live, that means they've tapped into it off these ends. So in turns, for us to get rid of all this pipework underneath floor, we'll have to get into that bedroom, cut them two pipes in there, and then feed them underneath floor here back into that boiler and connect all this link back up, so we don't have no boxing in, so we don't have no pipe work. So it'll look lovely. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of it all underneath floor, new pressure reducing valve on that. Don't even know if that works. I don't even think it works because I've never seen it move, that gauge. And we just got to hope and pray that that is the feed for the kitchen sink. So we'll test that by doing that. But in the meantime, if my mate just comes down here and shows you this soil stack, this is what happens when a soil stack runs the wrong way. See how deep that soil stack is? All that is King Edwards building up, building, just building. This has only been done a couple of years, this bathroom. Now, much longer, that would have got up to about here, and that stack would have just been blocked. That's all from running the waste pipe the wrong way. Now, a waste pipe should always run from the toilet like that way out. That one there, whoever's fit this, has been running into the toilet. So the toilet's always been fighting, it's been flushing, but it's always been fighting to get out. And it's just getting laid and laid and laid. And that's what happened. A couple of more years, that would have been half full, just with crap. And then, in fact, customer says that he did start having issues. So instead of doing it properly in the first place, they've just bodged it. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop it outside that T, because that T's too high where it comes into the property. If the T's too high where it comes into the property, there's no chance of it running away, because that T where it comes into the property, whoever's done this originally has put it too high, and or that stack's been changed. In fact, it has been changed because it was an internal stack, and then whoever's done it, they've swapped it outside, gone down the wall, and then gone back in underneath the kitchen. So whoever's done that, they've moved that T too high, which is no good. You should always be at least an inch lower, at least, and then you're guaranteed that it's going to be running away, especially on a short distance. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to take that T out outside. I don't know why they come through all there. Must have been the easiest option. We're going to centre the toilet here. We're going to go straight back out there. So the waste will go straight out there. We'll get rid of this pipe work regardless whether we have to connect back in or whether we don't. And then we can board it and start getting on with his life, which is good. That's how they've done it. They've come out, gone down there, and then gone back into the house there, because it used to be an internal soil stack. So there, I don't know how they've managed to get that too wide for the toilet on the other side, because it just don't work out on the drilling. So I've come out straight. I'm going to take that T out there, and then we're going to go straight up and straight in, nice and neat. That waste we're going to take out, drop it down, because look at bow on it there. It's running straight and then it's running up. It's pointless. It's actually higher at the point where it should have gone into stack than it is coming out of the wall. And what we'll have to do then, because they don't want the shower tray on legs, we'll have to come through the wall there, come round the house and into that stack. The only other option is for it to go on legs, but they don't want it on legs. They want it flat. Right, I'll just go through quickly what we're doing today, because we've been that busy and this gear goes off quickly, so we haven't really had time to film. So at the minute we've got rid of all that boxing in, 4-inch, we've reboarded the walls here. At this point here, there were a 4-inch waste pipe coming through there. We're changing it. I've drilled me all out, I've cored it so it's a nice hole straight outside there. I've dropped the pipe work underneath the floor, comes round, comes onto here, and then shown this partly. And then this part here, we'll get rid of tomorrow, because now I've found out what they are. Come round here. That one couldn't have worked. That must be that one couldn't have worked. So that pressure reducing valve don't work. That's why they've run a feed up and they come down. But I've cut it all off now. So we're going to cut that there, cap it. Then in this part here, because of this wall, it's not very good, and we're putting wet wall on it. I'm going to drop a 3-inch stud in front of it to make this corner square, because it's way out of square. So I'm just going to build a 3-inch stud, make that square, and then I'm going to drill some holes in there. I'm going to sling plastic all the way down into this boiler cupboard. Then from that boiler cupboard, I'm going to pick the hot and cold up. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that 22, and it'll all be brand new plastic all the way to that point there. And then obviously central heating pipes, we'll sort that out tomorrow. So that's where we are at today. Still got a busy day because we still have to connect that toilet back in before we go tonight. So we're going to have to get into that T and do that T outside. So I ain't had a lot of chance, but that's the basics what we've been doing all day. So I'm just going to cut these off, cap them here, and then I'm going to put my stud in, and then we'll drop his pipes through, which I'll show you later. So as we first thought, the plumbing, it was nothing like it we first thought it were like. So them there, someone must have looped them around at some point. Someone looped some more around there at some point.
Look, did you notice how
it was teed in like 4 different places.
Oh, well, we're good to go.
Now we've got rid of all of it. So we know we've got one feed, hot and cold going downstairs. We're going to come along here, feed his sink, go around there, into his boiler, feed his boiler. Then from the shower, that's going to run straight down there, straight to the boiler. So as soon as you turn the shower on, hot water's going to come straight on. So now I'm just going to build my stud wall, and then we'll get the pipe working, we'll put some braces in,
Right.
and job's a good one. Back on track.
Yeah.
Now I've got my stud working, I've supported it, just bang straight onto there, so there's no bounce in it. Then what you want to do is get your level, run it straight down and make sure it's running smooth, every direction. Make sure there's no gap in the middle. No gaps. So it's nice. Beautiful. Patterns here for where my shower's going, so I'm going to drill my holes through there, my pipes will come through, and then my bracket will screw straight into that wood, and it's ready for boarding. Solid. Out, you can see how far out this wall was. So if you tried to mess about with it, you would have struggled. You would have struggled with that. It's way out of corner, and it's about an inch too big at the top. That's how out of level it was. Now it's bang level. That's what you want. Bang level, bang square. Every angle. No bounce. No bounce. Just the job. That's how you want to be doing it. Solid.